All right, we're going to start with one of each design, one sheet from each design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them from the pages that I want to use to cover the mini album and the pages that I want to use to cut up different things from. And using some Beacon 3-in-1 glue, I'm going to start adhering. And I've already paired them up too. You didn't see this in the video, but I did pair them as far as which sheets I wanted with what chipboard page. So I'm just cutting off the excess here, and I'm using my emery board to kind of just just to take off the excess. Makes it more uniform. And I use my brayer when I do this because I kind of help spread the glue and helps it adhere a lot better. Takes the bubbles out. First thing that I do with my mini albums when I do the eyelets is I pre-measure from the edge, the distance that I want my eyelets and the distance between each eyelet. And then once I have it done, I'll use that first one as templates for the rest of the pages. And then once I have it all marked off, I will punch all the holes out, and then I'll start putting my eyelets in. And it's best to use a crocodile when doing this. It helps the ease to put it in really easy. It's not hard at all with the crocodile. So I'm just going to start with grabbing just a few things that I already have sitting there, and I'll start grabbing more things as the progression of the mini album continues. And that is a Blue Fern Studios Flourish piece that I just painted in black, and I'm just getting a couple of other things. There's some fabric flowers. I have some paper flowers from the Engraver collection. I just cut out from corkboard contact paper that title there that says My Day. And for your kits, I can customize a title for you, cutting it out of the corkboard. There is a little text box on my blog shop where when you buy your kit, you can just enter the name of the title and I will cut it out for you. You don't have to email me separately or anything. It's already there in the PayPal button. So I grabbed some paper flowers and some leaves from Alder Good Crafts, and I already kind of have an idea what I want to do with the front cover. So with the Crafter's Studio, or Crafter's Workshop, sorry, stencil, I'm going to use some fiber paste and just add some textured branches. And look how cool this looks. I love, love, love this texture. And fiber paste is fibrous. It has something in the paste itself, and it just helps with the peaks when you pull off the mask. So cool. So I'm going to get some gesso and edge around the entire edges of every page, front and back. And this is to kind of, it'll soften the look of the mini album, and it'll also frame your pages. And I tend to use this little spongy applicator when I do apply gesso. It just helps with the look of it. Adding some tea, unsweetened tea. Just trying to give a little bit of a grungy, dingy kind of a look to the paper since it's very light. I do heat set that a little bit, and I'm applying the flourish and adding some glossy accents for some shine, and it just makes it look really pretty. You can also do crackle accents. That would also look really nice. Just crisscrossing the fabric flowers, and that is also from the Engraver collection. Adding some of my leaves and my flower. And this is a little die cut that I pulled off the 12 by 12 sheet, and I'll add that in a second. It has an adhesive back, so you peel the paper off, and but I end up using glue still because it's not going to be laying flat on paper, so I want it to stick really well. There's a wooden domino piece there. I just added some gesso to and glued it just above the flower, and a Kaisercraft key. It is made out of wood. Super cute. And there's my cover pretty much. So I'm going to peel the paper off of the backs here of the letters and add hot glue to help with it sticking. Because of the fiber paste, it's going to be, it's not going to lay flat, so I have to have something that's going to grab really good. I'm going to start with my first photo on my first page on the other side of the cover there. Every single Polaroid shot that I have, I add my score tape and add it to some cardstock for a photo mat. And you'll see me doing that through all of them. I won't show every single one, but just so you know, I do add it. And I'll distress the edges of it and gesso the edges to frame it and soften it. And this is a picture of my dad and my brother. My dad's cute. He's only like 5'2". He was a jockey back in the day, so he's super tiny. And my mom's like 4'9", 4'10", something like that. She's even tinier. So they're just a tiny little couple. And I think the Engraver collection was perfect for this album because of, especially Danny was a centerpiece, basically, of course, for this mini album because it was his birthday and I made the album for his birthday. But he was wearing yellow, and I was like, oh, this is just it just mixed really well. So I had fun with adding pops of yellow here and there throughout, and yeah, it worked really well. So I'm just gonna add some more stuff here, and I added a bingo card from Jenny Bolin, another little banner. From the collection, a little camera made out of wood that is from Pink Paisley, or no, Studio Calico, sorry. And a Tim Holtz clock face with a gear behind it with the little spinners, adding with some hot glue. That's that page. I'm just choosing which one I want from a second. All right, so this one here, I'm trying to see which photo to use, and I'm gonna go with this one. Photo matting it. Now I did use either craft cardstock, black cardstock, ivory cardstock, and I think for one of Danny's photos I used one of I guess the ruler paper from the collection. And I decided to go mixed media on this page too. So I'm gonna do the little grungy flowers from Prima. It's from the Sunrise Sunset collection from Anna Dabrowska. A lot of you guys know who she is. And it kind of got lost on this page, but I'm going to do something to make it pop. I wasn't sure exactly at this point in time what I was going to do, but I figured it out as I went on. So here we go with the photo mat. I'm using the scissors here, the blade, but I need to start using my regular paper distresser because I keep poking myself with it. So I grabbed a few of the just bits and pieces from the paper collection and started making little banners. And there's a lot of banners here because it's a celebratory theme with it being his birthday. So I'm just going to paint on some gesso, kind of leave it a little streakish along the entire direction of the grungy flowers. And it's kind of lost again still. So I'm going to use some Winter Jasmine Gold and just drizzle it to kind of make that area pop. So I drizzle it through and in between the flowers and some of the petals, and this is a spray by Lindy Stamp Gang, so just so that you guys know if you're new. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. And then to make the flowers pop, I'm gonna grab my marker and trace around all the little flowers, all the little petals. And I do that to almost all of them, except for where I know I'm going to put the photo and it's not going to show. So as you can see, the marker helped tons. And I did do the mistake of covering up a lot of that, and I'll be rethinking my next page when I do add some texture, trying to add things in different areas so that my work will show. So here's some Beacon 3-in-1. Great, great glue, you guys. It's just like the Helmars 450. It works really well. It doesn't pucker your papers at all. It's awesome. There's a tiny little Jenny Bolin card from the packaging and a Tim Holtz paperclip. And I did lay a piece of burlap in the background just for texture, a little bit of color. Prima flower. This is from one of the other flower packets from the Engraver collection. There's a couple different flower packets for the Engraver. Actually, I think there's like 3. But I only had 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and add my flower with my Wild Orchid Crafts leaves. And, you know, believe it or not, the Beacon 3-in-1 held my metal clock piece really well. And I just added a button to the very center with some twine, and that was it for that page. And I was hiding the mixed media stuff, so oh well. Next page here is a picture of Danny. And I have tons of detailed pictures over on my blog at thejulebox.com. And I have a little collage of photos just sitting on the table with my glasses. And I have a lot of the pictures from the first dinner that we had, and tons of close-ups. And if you're interested, I still have some kits available. I have a couple of I have a large kit and I have a small kit, and I still have some of both. So if you are interested in a kit for this album, you can head over to thejuleboxshop.com. I'll leave the link to the post where you can find it, and you can enter the title that you want me to cut out of your corkboard for your album, and I'll put it in your kit for you and send it off. Shipping is separate, you guys. If you're not familiar with my blog, I bill separately for the shipping. So when you go out and purchase your kit, it'll be just for the kit. And I figure out where you live, the zip code, and how much everything weighs, and I'll figure out the price for the shipping, and then I'll invoice you for that. And then you send that in, and then I'll send you your goodies. It's very simple. It's just more accurate that way. I don't do any guesswork when it comes to shipping. So just FYI for you. So the viewfinder, or the picture wheel from Tim Holtz, the die, I just die cut that out from black chipboard and cut it in half. Just wanted it to one side of the photo, and making sure I didn't cover my little eyelet holes. Then I grabbed a couple of pieces from the collection and just layered them on the other side of his photo. And there's a couple, again, little banners. And this little arrow is from Pink Paisley. They've got quite a bit of different chipboard shapes of arrows. They've got stars, they've got hearts. Really, really cool chipboard pieces to play with. And it has an emboss resist technique on the top of it. So I do spray a star down later on, and you'll see there's going to be polka dots showing because it's been embossed. So just adding a little strip of ruler piece of paper there onto the left side of the page. And I did do a little fishtail at the end of that, so slide it under there. The Prima flower, and that was it for that one. Another Crafter's Workshop stencil. I think it's called Numerals, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a 6x6 piece. Some vintage photo, and rubbed it on there, and there are my numbers. I love the soft look of this one. You know, you don't always have to use any medias, any pastes or gessos or anything when you're using a mask. You can use sprays, you can use paint, you can use ink like I did here, if you want to just keep it flat. It's a picture of my mama. And she's wearing pink in this picture, so I wanted to highlight some of that on the album, or on this page here. And you know, and I looked at all of these little pages, I looked at it as just creating little layouts. The pictures were a perfect size, or a size of a business card, from my Fuji Instax 25 camera that I got from Amazon. And just snapped a few pictures and you have enough for a mini album. It just worked perfect. So I just kind of looked at it as creating tiny little layouts on a 5-inch diameter piece of chipboard page. It was fun. So I just grabbed one of the sheets that had different pieces to cut out, and I'm going to cut out a key here, edging it with gesso there. And I think this is like an old letter or something is what it was. And I'm not sure what piece that was, but they were already kind of divided into different pieces. So I just cut them out. And this is a flower vine from the Engraver collection. It's a cream and beige, or buttery yellow and beige kind of a color tone with some berries on it. And I just curled the bottom stems, and I grabbed some gypsophila flowers in the pink from Wild Orchid Crafts that I have, and just added them to the vine. I wanted to add the pink to it, is what I wanted to do. I'm going to put it together now. I just put those papers down already. I believe I already did. And gluing down her photo, and a little doily sticking out of the edge there. Adding another little cluster to the vine. Kind of shape it, kind of how I want it there. And this was from the Almanac collection. I just had it sitting in a bowl there on my work table. It went really well with the collection, so Nice soft buttery yellow. A filigree flower and a paper flower from Wild Orchid Crafts. I think they still have some of these filigree flowers. Add a little bit of gesso. You can bend it and shape it a little bit, and it worked really well. Hot glue held it perfectly fine. Sandwiched between that and the flower. Here's the key. Little rattling noise behind me, you guys, is my blinds. It's a little windy outside, and I have the window open, so my blinds are kind of dancing in the wind here. And there's my page for my mama. Isn't she beautiful? Next picture is of my hubby and myself. This is when I got my new haircut that I had shared earlier this year on Facebook. It's like long tails in the front. Kind of has that bob look, but I still had it long in this photo, so. And I just left the edges of the photo mat there, just kind of be a little different. Added gesso and a part of a doily. I believe it's like a third piece of a doily. Just adding that there so I can glue it down to my page. I'm going to shut my window. So I grabbed a piece of the ruler and stuck it on the side there just to break up the brown just a tad. And another Blue Fern Studios chipboard piece, a flourish, and just kind of randomly dabbing some gesso on it. Kind of make it look shabby. I'm going to mimic the look of the flowers, the fabric flowers that I did on the cover. I'm just going to leave a gap between them. So I did a crisscross thing again and curled the stems. Left the gap for that flower there. And some words that I cut out from the word page or the word sheet. It says Fun Memories. I love that page. Love, love, love that page. It helped a lot with just adding little titles here and there. Pink Paisley's chipboard stars. These are the ones that have the emboss resist on it. Adding more glue, and that's it for that page for now. I'll go back and add little things here and there to the pages in a little bit. Well, once I'm done, and I'll show that. Here's a picture of Danny with his two humonger lobsters on his plate. And I'm just grabbing a few of the sheets here to see what I can cut out and cutting strips and stuff because I'm going to do something special on this page for him. Since we're celebrating his birthday in this in the album, I'm going to add quite a few little things here. So just a couple of bits of paper from the collection just to layer on the side of his photo. I did distress it, I just didn't show it. So let's add this down here. And I'll just glue down just the edge and leaving the right side kind of open for what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to grab a bunch of strips and I'm going to do an explosion of banners. So I'm going to fishtail all of these and grab my distresser, or actually my craft knife, and distress all of the edges, and then I'm going to gesso them. So grab some solid colors and some with designs on it, and just to kind of give it a little bit of texture, make it a little fun, a little mixed. So it's going to basically look like that. So what I'm going to do is just do start from the top and work my way to the back, if I can remember how they all went. And I'm just going to add a couple more extra pieces for just to make it more full. It didn't seem full enough yet to me. I love this page. This is one of my favorite pages. And I'm going to do kind of a reverse fishtail thing here. Just a little piece of burlap and stick it down at the corner there. This is the star from Pink Paisley that has the emboss resist look on it. And I'm going to spray it, and the yellow will pick up where it should be absorbing. And you'll see a little bit of polka dots. And if you can't see it in the video, you might be able to see it in the pictures. A Prima flower from one of the packets, and this is from the collection. And I'm just going to stick it down here. And I added a half of a flourish piece from Blue Fern Studios just at the top of the flower with a Tim Holtz pin. Added the word faith onto the star. And a couple flowers here. basically that's it. I like it. I like that page. And he looks so happy. All right, next side. Picture of Anna and my hubby. I'm gonna grab that little card. It says adore on it. I'm gonna use the paper clip again. That's a little Tim Holtz paper pin or a paper clip. So cute. Grabbing the word sweet. And I'm going to add another word here in a minute. I think I grabbed the word memories. So it's gonna layer. I'm just gonna layer some designer paper on the back side here. I think it's a postcard, and then some stamps. There's a stamp up there as well. And I fussy cut this gardenia flower out from the collection, and I'm gonna add it on here too. Some more Beacon 3-in-1 glue. A Wild Orchid Crafts paper flower, and I believe that's one of the tea roses. They have a new site. I don't know if you guys know this yet, but they do have a new site. Added a ton of stuff, and they added a ton of stuff to their clearance. So they are clearancing out of quite a bit of stuff. You guys may want to head over there. So that was it for that page. And for this one, I'm just going to drizzle some of the Lindy Stamp Gang, kind of drizzling and make it going sideways off the page. A picture of Anna with my brother, their uncle. And I'm going to cut slits on the side here because I want this to go at an angle and it wouldn't stay. So I had to cut slits in the cardstock and stick the twine in the slit so that it would stay. So I'm going to grab another Jenny Bolin bingo card. I think I did, didn't I? That I just saw myself grab it. Fussy cutting out some more stuff from the designer paper. These are some tickets. Putting some little fold marks in it. And you know, the 6x6 paper pad is like, it has, when you're making a small album like this, the images are a lot smaller than the 12x12. So it makes it so nice that the size, it just went well with your smaller mini album. So I like to try and stick with using a 6x6 paper pad for any chipboard albums that are 6 inches and smaller. And some of the paper companies do 8x8s for a little bit bigger, still yet smaller than the 12x12 for like images and things. So they have quite a bit of stuff here laying on the side. So I'm gonna start assembling this page. It goes down the photo with some designer paper. And this is just something from my stash, some berry vines in that yellow. Went well with what I was doing with the collection and with the yellow from his shirt. So since I'm going to tuck this behind stuff, I end up cutting it in half and using it in different spots on the page. And the other piece of the Flourish from Blue Fern and another arrow from Pink Paisley, making the little tickets a little dimensional there. So I kind of tuck it, leaving it kind of wavy. Another flower. That's it for this page. Now the last page, the back side, the very, very back of the album. I have 3 pictures left over, and I did add photo mats to these. And I didn't want to like toss them or anything or just hand them over, so I decided to somehow get them on the mini album. So I grabbed a Maya Road envelope, added some stenciling on there, some 7 Gypsies ATC cards, and I cut the edges off and made them a little bit more narrower and turned them into journaling cards. Just stuck them with or attached them with a little brad. And they fit perfectly behind there. So I'm going to add my pictures into the envelope and then make the envelope a pocket for the little tags. And that way Danny can write his thoughts down and things like that. All these little papers are from the collection. All these little things you can cut out yourself. The large kit has 2 of each sheet, so you'll have plenty of papers. And the smaller kit has one of each sheet, so you'll still have quite a bit. As you see, I did here too. So, and they're both 5-page albums. I'm gonna add the word memories to the bottom here. Had to add something there just because it, something to, that's what albums are for. That's what scrapbooking is about. It's trying to put your memories on paper or on a page or in a book and decorating it, making it pretty. So I'm done with the back side. We're going to put it together now. So I'm going to go over each page and adding flowers that I feel need to be filled somewhere. There's a gap or an opening somewhere. Tacking down little areas that probably need a little extra glue. Things like that. Another flower. I did add a touch of turquoise on some of these pages with the little flowers. Aster daisies, that's a aster daisy flower that I just put down on the cover right here. And now my 2-inch binder rings. And people laugh because I use 2-inchers, but I have to because the 1-inch binder rings will not close this mini album. So I use the 2-inch, and I'm going to hide it with ribbons and all that stuff anyway. So here comes some pictures, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I had fun making this, and I hope you guys had fun watching. I'm glad I was able to make the tutorial for you. You guys take care. I'll see you later. Jules sending out at the Jule Box Shop. Bye-bye.